Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is my first video all on iPhone without using any of the microphone. I do have a DSLR, but I'm not using it. I just want to see how well this iPhone can do in terms of video quality. I'm using front camera of this iPhone 11 Pro Max, and that is also in 4K 60 FPS. So I'm gonna upload it as it is. So let's get started. So the question here is, how do we get an iPhone on a plan in Australia? What do you need? And is it very easy? iPhone यहाँ पर झाड़ पे मिल जाते हैं, मतलब how is the case? So what do you need? So first thing first, you need to determine which iPhone you want or which phone you want. It doesn't matter if it's an iPhone or a Samsung, as long as it's a phone, right? And it is available. So just determine which model you are looking for, right? First, understand what your needs are. If are you somebody who needs a huge phone with bigger battery, or somebody who is looking for a slim phone? Which color you like, what brand you prefer, what operating system? Are you an Android person? Are you an iOS person? From my experience, a lot of people use iPhones in this country, especially in Australia and Canada. So a lot of people use iPhones. So it's very easy to blend in if you have an iPhone. If you're using something like I was using this Pocophone, right? I was using Pocophone, and I used to stand out a lot. Like people were like, "What phone is that?" So I can't say which phone is this, because I'll be like, "Ah, it's just a Chinese phone," right? So it's very hard to mingle if you don't have an iPhone. So I don't know, it's not a huge deal, but it is like you will stand out a little bit, right? So you need to determine which phone you want. I decided to go with an iPhone 11 Pro Max because I wanted to get the best screen, the biggest screen, and the biggest battery, and I wanted an iPhone. So, especially for content creation and making videos like this, it has got triple cameras and everything. So it was a sweet deal for me. So I went for it, right? So once you determine which phone you want, second question to ask yourself is, what is your budget? So how much are you willing to spend? So if you want it on a plan, then there are three options. First option is 12 months, second option is 24 months, and third option is 36 months. So you can determine how long are you willing to pay for it, like what is the duration of that payment. So if you're fine with 36 months, then it will be the cheapest for you. Like the payment will be the smallest, not cheapest, smallest payment. And if you go for 12 months, then it will be the highest payment, right? So determine how long are you willing to pay for this thing, right? I went with 24 months. 36 months was a little too long for me, and 12 months was too short. So I went for the sweet spot, and I got it for 24 months, right? The next question would be to know what plan you want, right? Because every company has their own plans and has their own benefits. You might be looking at a plan around 40 to 50 to $60 per month. So I went with a plan which was $60 per month. It gave me 100 GB data per month, and it also had international calling to India, unlimited, right? Because India comes into the zone 1 countries, and that's why I was able to get with $60 I got 100 GB plus international calling plus unlimited national calls and texts, which was a sweet deal for me, right? So I went with that plan because and then you also need to identify your provider, which provider you want. There are a couple of providers which are really good, like Telstra. There is one, Optus, Vodafone. It depends on your location, I guess, because I was using Belong, and Belong's internet wasn't working in my university. I was having trouble with it. It was a good one. It was cheap, $40 for 48 GB and everything. So it was a sweet deal. It was a prepaid SIM, so I was using that. But then Telstra or Vodafone or Optus would be the best. Just ask your roommates what they use, and what network works the best in your suburb and in your city, and then you can decide. So I went with Vodafone. You can go with Telstra. because Vodafone was giving me student discount. So as a student, I was getting a discount of $10 per month in my plan. So I was able to get $10 discount. So that dropped my total price to about $135 per month, excluding my insurance. I'm thinking I didn't get insurance. I'm thinking I should get Apple Care, because Apple Care is much better. But now let's see how it works. But I think that is what got me to this phone. But the next question is, should you really spend this much money on a phone, right? Um, well, let me tell you, if you are somebody who don't have a flagship phone, like if you're having problems with your phone, if the quality isn't good enough, if the camera isn't good enough, or is it hanging, is it lagging a lot, or does it have any hardware issues such as a screen broken or a button is not working, right? If you have a phone that has some kind of a problem, then you can consider buying a phone on a plan, because um, then you will like, okay, if you can't buy a phone on cash, then you can at least get it on a plan, because then you can start using the phone and pay it later. And then you, of course, it doesn't have to be like you have to pay every month. You can get your phone released if you pay the remaining amount. If you use it for 5 months, and then you'll be like, no, I don't want to use Vodafone anymore, I just want to get my old belong sim, I can just pay my $1,500 and then get my phone released, and then I can use my belong sim. That's up to me, all right? So it doesn't have to be like that. So just understand, if you have a phone which has problems, then you can consider it. Otherwise, it is another expense, because you're already paying for your rent, you're already paying for your fees, you're paying for your groceries, and then this is an extra expense for you, which will give you trouble if you don't have money, right? So just be careful. If you really need a phone, then you can afford it, then go for it. But if you have a phone which you bought recently, or which you bought brand new, and you're having no problems with it, if you have a nice decent Samsung phone, if you have a nice Google Pixel, maybe a generation or so older, use it. Don't go for this trap, because it's very easy to get into a phone, because you're still paying $2,000 for it. It's not free for you. It looks like you're just paying $100, but it's not. You're actually paying $2,000 for this phone, right? So you are going to pay for it, just not now, but you will pay in the future, right? So don't fall for this trap. If you really need it, and if you have some purpose for it, then go for it. Otherwise, I will not recommend buying a phone on a plan, especially in Australia on a student visa. If you are PR, or if you have a decent job, then you can afford it. It's up to you whether you want to buy it or not. But on a student visa, as an international student, as somebody who is working part-time jobs, odd jobs, I will not recommend it unless you can pay for it. That's pretty much it for this video. That's how I got my iPhone 11 Pro, and that is what I'm using to shoot this video. This is 4K 60 FPS. Looks pretty good. Let's see how it works out on YouTube. If you like this video, give it a like, share with your friends, whoever is coming to Australia or whoever is interested in this content. Please do share, and till then, stay subscribed and stay blessed. Bye bye.